Hey everybody, it's Irene with BrainStormAcres. And I'm back at the dining room table again. The other day I was just done videoing how to do some storage dividers and things like that, and I thought, this is silly. I'm going to sit here and make these things right now, so I might as well go ahead and record. So I did. I made the inserts for 2 boxes. I wanted to point out just a couple of quick facts before I put you onto that video. You will see me use 2 different saws in the process. This is the first saw I use, which is a little X-Acto saw. And the reason I switched saws is because this is the first set of paint stirrers that I used, and this is the second. You'll notice the second is very much thicker, like literally twice as thick, and it is also wider. So while I can easily cut through with this on this, it would be more difficult with this one. So it was simply easier to switch to my mini hacksaws. The mini hacksaws are widely available at any hardware store pretty much. I got mine, I think, at Home Depot, but I bought them other places too. They're a stock item in my toolbox when I travel. And they have blades for both wood and metal, so they're super handy. You don't have to use that, but what you do need to have when you're doing this kind of fine work is you have to have a saw that has fine teeth on it. If you have one of the, like I have some of the big, beautiful hand saws that are used for cutting 2x4s, okay? I have the kind that are used for cutting with the grain. I have the kind that are used for cutting across the grain, but they have monster teeth on them, and they would just absolutely shred this stuff. You need something that's got fine teeth so that you can get precision. You can do this without a saw by using just an X-Acto blade and continuing to, or a utility knife, and continuing to score and score and score till you get your way through. I prefer to use a saw, but you can do it whatever way works for you. The other point I wanted to make is do get a decent ruler. These are available at any office supply store pretty much. This is a standard brand. It's Bates National Rule, made in the USA and all that kind of stuff. Some of them, actually it's made in New Jersey, woo! And they have both centimeters and inches on it. I like having that variation because I like having the option of using whatever marking system works well for me at that moment. And I use metric a lot. The paper that I'm using for the sign is not normal paper. This is this paper that you use in your printer or your copy machine. And what you see me do in the video is you'll see me take a piece of paper, mark out the size of the sign, and then write out the words. Now, why do I do that? I have made a gazillion signs and posters over the years. I used to make posters for the garden club for my mother-in-law and all that kind of stuff. And lots of posters for kids' events and things. The one thing I have learned is you will forget how to spell when you are making any kind of a sign or a poster. So write it down, make sure it's spelled correctly, and then work off of that. I'm also figuring out the spacing. I wanted the stuff to be sort of, it does not have to be perfect. If I was trying to do it perfect, I would do it on the computer and print it out. I want it to look hand done, because it is. My printing is out of whack a little bit right now. I'm just out of practice. Normally I would do some nice calligraphy. I'm not going to do that right now. I just needed to have signs that would work and be legible for people. One of the things I figured out a long time ago is don't make your sign so fancy that people can't read it. I've actually seen that happen with beautiful signs out in front of businesses. There was a place in Massachusetts years ago that Henry and I never did figure out the name of the place because it was using an Old English script font that was so complicated. It had so many little points and jiggies and jaggies and everything that you couldn't read it. And that's silly. So I wanted something clean, easy to read. I did this in pencil so I could easily fix it if I needed to. When I do the second box, you'll see me change the words, and I do change the price too, because it's a different product. But I'm using something that's thicker than regular paper, and yet it's not quite as thick as a file folder would be, but close. I have a cat zooming around the room. she's got the zoomies because she's been in for days because the weather's been terrible. So enjoy. Hopefully this helps you. I figured that one of the reasons I would do this is a lot of people learn more easily from watching someone than they do from listening to words or reading a book. I can do it either way, but I much prefer to watch somebody do a task a dozen times. I have watched people upholstery furniture. I have watched people put covers on handmade books, and it's that repetition that shows you the flow of the work, that shows you what sort of adjustments they need to make. I do use a file. You'll see me whip out a couple of files. My cuts were not quite as precise, and that's what usually happens. They're usually off by a smidge. Or sometimes you'll find the wood bends a little or does something strange. You know, this is not the kind of precision I would need to achieve if I was working in metal. So using a file to just kind of fine-tune something makes it perfect. So I hope you enjoyed this. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because obviously I'm going to be doing lots more. Not necessarily of this, but of all kinds of other stuff. I have done this on a large scale. I'm the one who built the pantry shelves, not the weird little metal ones that we put up a couple of years ago, but the actual solid wood ones in there. Henry and I have made shelving together before, and I've got a lot of experience with that sort of stuff. So, until next time, bye, and be sure to keep brainstorming, because obviously, I do.
you.